My daughter sat alone in a cold car on New Year's Eve while my entire family celebrated inside. And I let it happen. Not because I couldn't stop it, but because I needed to see exactly who they were. My name is Maya. I'm 38, a single mom, and the person my family has always counted on to keep the peace. My daughter Lily is 9 years old. She is kind, she is quiet, and she had done absolutely nothing wrong that night. Nothing. We arrived at my parents' house a little late, maybe 45 minutes after the party started. I had a work call that ran over. Lily had been so excited all week. She'd picked out her outfit. She'd made a card for her grandparents. She walked into that house ready to celebrate. So when I stepped inside and my own mother looked at me with that smile, the tight one, the one that means don't make a scene, I felt it immediately. Something was wrong. I asked where Lily was. She said, "Oh, she's fine." 2 seconds. That's how fast she said it. No pause. No detail. Just she's fine. She was not fine. And by morning, someone in that family would be begging me to undo what I was about to do. Before we continue with this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for updates. What kind of family tells a child there's no room for her? I'd been making excuses for mine for years. Tonight, I finally stopped. When I pushed past my mother's smile and asked again, "Where is Lily?" It was my sister-in-law, Becca, who finally said it. Casual. Almost bored. There just wasn't enough room inside for everyone. So she's in the car. Like that was a normal sentence. Like my 9-year-old daughter was a code that needed somewhere to go. Lily had been outside for over 40 minutes. Here's what you need to understand about my family. My parents, Gerald, 67, and Donna, 64, run everything. What they approve of, everyone follows. And ever since my divorce from Patrick, I'd become the family inconvenience. They'd loved Patrick. Still did, quietly. And Lily, sweet, gentle Lily, was the living reminder of a marriage they wished I'd stayed in. I'd seen the signs before. Lily left out of cousin photos. Donna calling her too sensitive. My brother Craig joking she was a lot. I dismissed every single one. I walked out to the car and found my daughter wrapped in her coat, watching her tablet. She wasn't crying. She'd stopped expecting to be included. That was the moment something in me went very, very still. That stillness wasn't sadness. It wasn't shock. It was clarity. The kind that only comes when you finally stop lying to yourself about the people you love. I hugged Lily, told her we'd leave soon. Then I walked back inside and I smiled. I poured myself a drink. I made small talk. And the entire time my phone was recording. Because here's what my family didn't know about me. I don't react. I document. I watched Donna work the room like she always does. Warm, charming, the perfect hostess. I watched Craig toast to family first with a straight face. I watched my father Gerald avoid my eyes all night. And in between the laughter and the countdown, I caught 3 separate comments about Lily. Offhand. Casual. The kind people make when they think nothing will ever come of it. At midnight, everyone cheered. I slipped out. I drove Lily home, tucked her in, and sat at the kitchen table until 3 a.m. My family had always assumed I was their safety net financially, logistically, emotionally. What they didn't know was that I'd recently inherited a significant sum from my late Aunt Ruth, and that I'd been quietly named as the sole decision-maker on documents that affected them more than they realized. I opened my laptop and started making changes. The first document I revised was Lily's emergency guardianship. My parents were removed, effective immediately. But it was the second document that would make someone beg. My parents had always assumed I would take care of them, not because we were close, but because I always had. I was the stable one, the responsible one, the one who never said no. They'd built their expectations around that version of me without ever once asking if she was still willing to show up. She wasn't. What my family didn't know, what no one at that party knew, was that for the past 3 years, I had been quietly subsidizing the annual family vacation. Craig planned it. Everyone enjoyed it. I funded most of it. No announcement. No credit. Just Maya handling it like always. I also hadn't told anyone about Ruth's inheritance. My parents had been dropping hints for months, comments about keeping things in the family, about how Ruth would have wanted everyone looked after. There were no promises made, but the assumptions were loud enough to hear from across a room. By 9 a.m., New Year's Day, I had updated Lily's school and medical emergency contacts. The guardianship paperwork was already with my attorney, and I had drafted a letter to Craig, clear, calm, final, letting him know I would not be contributing to the family vacation fund. Not this year. Not going forward. I was just sitting down with my coffee when my phone rang. It was Donna, and her voice told me immediately someone had already seen the paperwork. She wasn't calling to apologize. Donna's first words weren't "I'm sorry." They weren't "How is Lily?" They were, "Maya, you need to reverse that paperwork before this gets out of hand." That sentence told me everything I needed to hear. Her concern wasn't my daughter sitting alone in a cold car for 40 minutes on New Year's Eve. Her concern was her name coming off a legal document, her position, her access. That's what I was to this family, not a daughter, not a mother, not a person. I was a resource. And the moment I stopped being a convenient one, the calls started. I told her clearly, without raising my voice, "You made my daughter feel like there was no room for her in this family. I'm just making that official." Then I hung up. Craig called 40 minutes later. The vacation fund collapse hit him fast. He'd already made partial bookings. Donna and Gerald, now removed from every emergency document tied to Lily, were beginning to understand what their relationship with me had actually been built on. The family group chat erupted. I turned off notifications. The legal changes stood. The financial contributions ended. And the version of Maya, who quietly absorbed every slight to keep the peace, she was done. That afternoon, Lily and I ordered takeout, put on a movie, and poured sparkling juice into plastic flutes. Lily looked at me and asked, "Are we still a family?" I pulled her close and said, "We are. It's just the two of us, and that's more than enough." For the first time in years, I believed it completely.